Hello, my name is Cinti, and welcome to a quick Stormworks modding tutorial where I'm going to try to quickly explain some of the basics of Stormworks modding really as fast as I can. So let's jump into it. Before we actually create our mod though, we need to make the folder that all of our files will be housed in. So we're going to press Windows plus R here. This will bring up a little prompt. Type in %appdata%, go down to Stormworks, Data, Mods, right click, New Folder, and this is where our mod is going to live. I'm just going to call it Demo. And inside, we're just going to create a quick text document, rename it to mod.xml specifically. If it says XML source file, you did it right. Inside of our mod folder, you can also add mod.png if you want to upload this to the workshop. Then inside of here, we have a blank text document, and on the GeoMeta wiki, it gives us a template for the XML, and we'll just paste that in. Mod name, demo, username, well that's me, Fumball, and a short description, a mod that shows things. Beautiful. Then inside of Stormworks, when we go to create a new game, in the enabled mods section, we'll see our demo mod, a mod to show people things. We don't actually have anything that we've modded yet, so let's go ahead and jump right into that. Alright, so let's say you want to maybe edit the audio of a buzzer, okay? That's really easy as well. It's just changing a file path. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to create a new folder here, and we're going to call it data, all right? And inside of this data folder, we're going to create a definitions folder, okay? And inside of here, we're just going to copy a file from the game. We could make our own, but the game's already provided us with the buzzer, so we can just reuse it. So in Steam here, we're just going to right-click on Stormworks, manage, browse local files, and this will bring us to the local files of the game. We're going to go into ROM, data, definitions, and we'll see this is every part in the game. I'm just going to search up buzzer real quick, right click, copy, and I'll put it in my definitions folder. We also need a folder to store our audio, and we're just going to call it audio. And last but not least, we also need an audio file to replace with. So I already have a couple here from a mod I was testing a little bit ago. So I have this GPWS sound from an aircraft, and I'm just going to paste this, I think, into the audio folder, and that should work just fine. And we're going to open up our copied buzzer file in our favorite text editor of choice. I'm using Visual Studio Code, but you could use Sublime Text or Vim or Notepad++. It really doesn't matter so long as you can edit it. And now inside of our buzzer, we're going to see quite a lot. This is kind of complicated, and it can look scary at first, but once you start to take a look at it, it'll make more sense. If you remember, buzzers have a handful of different sounds. They have, well, 3 warning sounds, a couple of beeps, a seatbelt, a whole bunch of other stuff. And each of these are defined really simply here in the XML. Each of these is its own sound. Now, as I'm making this, I'm only aware of being able to edit these 6 sounds. Anything past the seatbelt, the sounds are defined slightly differently, and I don't think can actually be easily edited. So it turns out I stand corrected. You actually can edit the sounds after seatbelt. If you see that they have a start, loop, and end file name, if you just remove the start and end ones, I think you can just rename the loop one. So, audio slash, I don't know, GPWS Airbus 2500.ogg, right? Whatever your file name is. And I think that works just fine. But our audio file here is in audio/GPWS_Airbus_2500.ogg. So what I'm going to do here is for warning 1, I'm just going to replace it with exactly that. Audio/GPWS_Airbus_2500.ogg. And the game's going to automatically link our new audio file. We also can't change the SFX name here. The game's going to crash. Don't even try. Add SFB here. And this M here is to show people that it's a modded block, and the SFB is just a 3-letter author tag. I'm Fumball, so it shows SFB here. I'll just name it Buzzer too. This is good practice generally. It makes it easy to search up modded parts, especially from a specific author. Fails. And it really lets people know easily that this is a modded part. This is good practice, and I recommend doing it to any part that you add or edit. And we also need to rename the XML here, so I'll just rename this to buzzer_2.xml. So the game, again, doesn't try to replace the existing buzzer, but instead adds a new buzzer. And now in the game here, I can just create a new world, I'll just set it to custom, set it to O'Neill, just it doesn't really matter. And enable our demo mod, all right? And then we'll just create a game. It's that simple. And here in the editor, I'll just search up buzzer in the inventory, and we can see that there are 2 buzzers. Look at that, buzzer and buzzer 2. And we can see buzzer 2 has our mod name tagged underneath it, so we know that this is a modded part. So I'll just place down buzzer 2. I'll place down a button so we can see if it works. And connect it up with logic. And before we test it, before we spawn it in, I'm just going to use the select tool and click preview.
2500.
That sounds like the replace sound file to me. For reference, a regular buzzer.
2500.
That's definitely not the same sound, so I think our sound mod worked. So,
2500.
look at that.
2500.
Now, you don't have to edit buzzer sounds either. If I wanted to edit the sound of a toggle button, I can also do that as well. Just gotta search up button here in the original game file. Button toggle, I think, is what I'm using there. Paste it in. And I'm just gonna change the sound effect to audio / GPWS _ Airbus _ 2500.ogg. And to reload the mod, all we have to do is exit to the main menu and then immediately reload the world. We don't actually have to create a new world or restart the game every time. We just need to exit the world and enter it back in again. So just continue. Alright, I'm back in the world again. I'm just going to press the button. I'm just going to press the button.
2500. 2500. 2500. 2500.
And I'm even just going to get rid of the buzzers there to prove. Yeah, that's going to get annoying fast. But you can change pretty much every sound of the game. You know, if there was a dog around here and I didn't get rid of them, you could change the sounds of the dogs as well. I could change my footstep sounds. And this is a really cool way to make the game feel more realistic and just give the game a new feel, is by changing the sounds. Overall, there's a quick tutorial on sound modding. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. If there is a tutorial that I haven't done that you'd like to see, I'd appreciate it being put into the comments so I could try to get it as fast as possible. But I think that's all for me. Happy modding!